Let's talk about how applications are designed with packages in mind versus how we used to do software development. The big thing that packages help us with is having to not reinvent the wheel every single time we need a piece of functionality. I still have this problem. It's not a thing that packages just completely eliminate. There's a human factor here as well. You have to train your team to think about the code that they're writing or the system that they're building and look for things that can be easily pulled out of your infrastructure and put into a package. But it's not something that you commonly see. You start writing a solution and say, well, I've done this before. Let me go over to this other project and let me copy and paste this code out and move it into this new project. That's a smell. As soon as you do that, you know that you need to move that out and maybe put it into its own project, build a package around it. I'll give you a great example. I have built systems for doing logging. I have built systems for reading configuration files that were specific to our environments. I have copy and pasted code numerous times because I know I have written that code before. But each time I have copy and pasted that code, I should have moved it into a package, just installed the package into every system that needed it and used it that way. Because by copying and pasting everywhere, I cannot easily fix that code if I discover a problem. If 3 different projects have the same code copy and pasted into them, and I discover a bug, hopefully not a critical bug, in one of those applications, I could fix it in app number 1, but does that help app number 2 or app number 3? If we were running in a packaged environment, I could fix the package, and then that automatically comes down to every system that is using that package. So a bug fix can help all the packages that use it. It also helps with future coding solutions. If we're starting a new project internally and we get to that point where we know, oh, I have written that code before, well, if it's already in a package, click, 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 type, you have the package installed, you can just sit and start using it. So I like using the term plug and play. You just drop it in, start using the package. You don't have to worry about finding the old solution or the old project, finding the file that the code's in, copying the code over, seeing if you have to adjust it in any way. You just drop it in and start using it. The other real important thing with packages is that we're not putting a lot of binary data into our source control. Let's go back 15 years. God, it's been that long already. 15 years, when we were doing dependency work the hard way, we were putting all of our dependency data into our source control. So if it wasn't a case of someone having to go out to a UNC path to get a file, well, we were just starting to put all that stuff into source control. You pull the source down, it brings down a couple hundred meg of binaries along with it. And that's generally not a good idea because source control is not designed to do differences between binary files. It's impossible. But it is really good at doing differences between text files. And all manifests for packaging systems, NPM, NuGet, so on, so on, and so on, they're human readable. They're either XML, they're JSON, or some other proprietary format. But if they're text, a source control system, I'll use Git as an example because I use it all the time. Git is really good about looking at version A and version B of a text file and telling you what the differences between them are. And if we need to commit those differences in. So that means I'm putting less data up in the source control. And if someone were to pull down the latest source, say a new developer, they could just go in and say, okay, install all the packages. We do this with NuGet all the time. Fresh copy of the code, we hit install, 3-4 minutes later, we have all the dependencies installed for our application that would normally have required a person to go out to 10 different locations, grab the files, maybe run through a couple of installers. Now it's all there. They didn't have to do any additional work. Let's jump in a little bit deeper into package versioning.